Crenden Theater, Chapter 4. Tex ran across the stage carrying props and sound equipment. Lights were being hung and started to be gelled. The set backdrop started to be curled and raised to the top for the cues. Jason and his small crew were also hard at work building the support beams for all the set pieces, seamlessly blending into the series of other groups working in perfect sync. The stage manager was on center stage with her eyes on every detail that was touched. Mrs. Sasha Del Vito was leading the Symphony of Chaos with elegance and her booming voice which carried through every catwalk at the theater. As she was getting the stage set, the rest of the actors were gathered in the back of the house, by the lobby doors. Sydney entered the theater and approached the group. As she approached, she quickly scanned each of the different people that were starring alongside her. She could feel the eyes staring her down. Some welcoming, others not so much.
Hello, Miss Rossett. Now that you're here, we can get started. Please follow me to the lobby so we can hear each other better. Here we go. Greetings one and all to the first rehearsal of my new show, Life and Love. A story of how a woman falls in love with a man wanted for murder, and how those around her are doing whatever they can to stop her. I am very pleased with the cast I have chosen. As is customary for theater shows, let's go around and introduce ourselves.
Hello, I am the Lady Araceli Letty, and I will be playing the role of Isabella.
How's it going? I'm Adrian. Some people call me Sir Adrian. I don't really care either way. I'll be playing the role of Dante.
Hey there. I'm Sydney, and I'll be playing the role of Marie.
It's a pleasure to meet everyone. Now please, come up and grab a script so we can begin a table read of the whole show. Take a seat wherever you feel comfortable, and please follow along so we don't fall behind. As you may have noticed, Sir Ian will be sitting in with us for the first read of the show. Don't worry, he is only here to observe one of the final drafts of the script. Let us begin.
In that moment, Caleb channeled his inner glory days on the Crenden stage and began reading the narrations for his intro.
It was a cold winter night. The streets were filled with the sound of the wind rustling the trees. The street lamps illuminate the stone path of the city streets ahead. Shops are beginning to close and people are heading home. We see Marie and Isabella walking home together in a rush.
We have to hurry, Marie. If we're late again, Father will be furious.
I'm going the fastest I can, Isabella. These shoes just aren't meant for quick getaways.
As the two girls cross the stage, Dante runs across and collides into them and knocks them to the ground. When he stands, he is in a rush to leave, but doesn't just want to leave them there.
I'm so sorry about that, ladies. Are the two of you all right?
Yes, we're fine. Thanks for the help.
Which way are you going next time? Why don't...
I don't mean to be even more rude, but I need to be off. Until we meet again, ladies.
Before Isabella could say another word, Dante takes off into the night.
The table read continued for hours, discovering more and more of the story as they went along. It seemed as if the tension in the air wouldn't subside. Well, at least until the love scene between Marie and Dante came up.
Marie is pacing around her room in a panic. The news of her love facing accusations of murder was almost too much for her heart to handle. Thoughts of doubt raced through her mind, but the only thing she wanted to do was to see Dante. There had to be a reason, and she knew. All of a sudden, there's a knock on the window. When Marie goes to draw back the curtain, Dante falls into the room.
Dante, are you all right? Are you hurt?
No, I'm all right, my love. I'm just tired. Everyone is out looking for me. I'm sure you've heard the news.
I did, and to be honest, I don't really know how to feel. I understand why you didn't tell me in the first place. Now it's incredibly dangerous to be here. I thought you were someone I could fall in love with. Someone who could take me away from this house and all of its demons. I thought you were different. My heart still longs for you, but my body is terrified of you. I think you need to leave, Dante.
Please, Marie, you have to understand I didn't do it. I'm being set up by the person who actually killed him. Please don't turn me away. I can't imagine my life without you. Please, you have to believe me. I love you.
Dante, enough. I do believe you. And I will always believe you. Believe me, this hurts me just as much. But you are putting me in danger by being here, and I need to think about my family. So please, just go.
Sydney noticed all eyes on her as she read her lines. As she looked up from her script, she saw everyone hanging on her every word, eyes not blinking, almost as if they were all in a trance. When Sydney finished the monologue, people would go right back to normal, as if it never happened, like they snapped out of it in that one moment. As the table read came to an end, Caleb began to make some closing remarks.
This show is going to be bigger than anything this theater has ever done before, and this cast will elevate the story all the way to the top. I am so excited to begin working with each of you. Tomorrow we will be meeting again, but this time we will be going over stage directions. I'll see you all tomorrow.
The cast began to pack up their things and slowly funnel out the front door. Caleb walked over to Sydney.
Miss Rosent, I wanted to let you know that you're already knocking it out of the park as the lead. You nervous for it?
Not really. I'm more curious about how the others are going to handle the new girl as the lead.
I chose you because you are perfect for the role. I know I have nothing to worry about.
Good evening, the two of you. Mind if I borrow Sydney for a moment?
Sure thing, Sir Ian. I'm going to go check in on Sasha.
Miss Rosent, certainly a bright new star has arrived to grace my family's theatre. I can see why Caleb has so much faith in you. You had the whole theatre paying attention to your every word when you were reading. Did you get my gift?
The rose? Yes, I did. It was a lovely gesture. Thank you.
You deserve it. Though no amount of roses can compare to the beauty of your gaze. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this opportunity. I was wondering if you'd do me the honor of joining me for dinner.
Wow. Tonight's not great for me.
Just as Sydney was about to answer, a loud scream echoed throughout the theater. Sir Ian and Sydney looked at each other for a brief moment before taking off in a full sprint towards the scream. A crowd had gathered around the source of the screaming, though it didn't seem to be helping. As the crowd parted to let Sir Ian and Sydney through, laying on the ground was Lady Atticelli, convulsing on the floor and screaming as if she were being burned from the inside out. Sir Ian knelt down and took Lady Atticelli in his arms, carrying her over to one of the couches and laying her down. Almost as if by magic, she seemed to stop screaming the second he picked her up. She was breathing heavily from a panic attack as Sir Ian laid her down. Moments later, the crowd dispersed slowly. And then in that moment, Lady Atticelli began to murmur very obscure phrases. The crowd quickly turned back around, even catching Sydney's attention.
Oh boy. So gentle and kind. Poor boy at the beach with golden hair.
Lady Atticelli seemed to fade in and out of every word, while the crowd looked at one another to see if they recognized anything she was saying. It was all nonsense. Sir Ian looked up at Sydney with a confused look, then quickly looked back at Lady Atticelli as she screamed the next jumbled up phrases. As the crowd looked on, Sydney used the opportunity to slip out and leave. Weaving her way through the different rows of people, she moved as if she were being pursued. Finally, reaching one of the theater's side exits, she stopped suddenly, feeling a chill in the air as she suddenly turned around to see the form of a woman staring at her. The two were just standing there, staring at each other. Sydney was suddenly overwhelmed with a feeling of warmth as the woman approached gently. She wasn't scared for some reason. If anything, she felt happy. Sydney noticed her smile, and it felt familiar. And as the woman approached, she could see that her eyes were drowned in tears. As she stepped into the sunlight of a nearby window, she vanished, as if the sun had wrapped her in a blanket of its rays and took her home. Sydney was left standing there alone for a few seconds. Even though the woman was gone, she still couldn't help but feel comforted by even seeing her in the first place. Still in a daze, Sydney all of a sudden felt a tap on her shoulder. She jumped in shock and suddenly turned around to find Jason laughing hysterically.
What the hell, Jason? Can't you, wear a bell or something?
Come on, calm down. Relax, it's just me. Relax, Red. Just me. You're doing all right. I noticed you, literally freeze when you grabbed the door to leave.
Yeah, I'm good. Just wanted to sneak out while all this was happening.
It's no big deal. Is the prima donna all right? All the techs could hear her screaming from the green room. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. She always bounces back.
Ah. Yeah. So, Ian Crenden. Yeah, Ian Crenden. He, decided to, ask you out, didn't he? I, came in here to grab a few cables from the box office and overheard Crenden making a move on you. Want me to kick his ass?
No. It's fine. I said no. I feel it's kind of strange for the lead to date the producer, you know? And luckily, Lady Araceli began screaming as I was giving my answer.
Talk about convenient. Well, it's good to know you're sticking to your morals. Just be careful, alright? I got a bad feeling about this guy.
You and me both. I'm going to slip out before he notices I left and asks me again. I'll see you tomorrow, though.
For sure. Have a good night, Red.
Sydney opened the side door and quickly stepped out, silently closing the door behind her. The forest next to the theater was crisp, with the wind rustling through the leaves, filling the evening with an eerie stillness. She stepped out towards the street and began to head home, thinking about what Jason had said about Sir Ian, as well as how convenient it was for Lady Araceli to suddenly collapse the instant he asked her out. If this was just day one, she couldn't even begin to fathom what was about to happen.